Hi, in this demo, we'll show you how to use InterSystems IRIS and Alteryx together to deliver analytics experience to a very broad group of users. InterSystems IRIS is a great platform to build and host your applications, and it also has a comprehensive set of features to enable builders to build reports, dashboards, and models using some specialist tooling. When I am an analyst or a subject matter expert, and I would like to build, for example, a predictive model to enhance this application, to give a risk score that identifies which patients are likely to have to be readmitted, I can use Alteryx to build that workflow, to build that analytic flow, and then push that model back into IRIS. So let's take a look here. So first of all, I'm going to load some historic data from my IRIS data source. I can pick from all of the tables, and here I have information coming and being made available in this simple, convenient browse tool so that I can get a quick overview of what my data looks like and how it is being distributed across certain values. So for example, here I can see a nice, simple, basic statistic on the distribution of the intensive care unit days. Now, I would like to join this data to data from, say, an Excel sheet that contains the actual readmission information for some historical piece of data. So in order to join this, I'm going to pool these two pieces of information together, so I don't have to learn any specific join syntax, and these simple icons tell me what at the other end of my join tool comes out. So I'll be joining encounter ID from my database to the encounter key field in my Excel file, and I'm going to only keep from the right-hand side, so from my Excel sheet, I'm only going to keep the number of days that there were between the readmission and between the original admission and the readmission. So I'm going to pull these two together, so left and middle, and then take a quick look at what data I actually merged together. So now I'm able to see that here at the bottom, I have information for my readmission, which is luckily null for the vast majority of the admissions that are in my historical data set. Now I want to predict a yes and no flag. So I'm going to translate the number of days till readmission into a yes/no field. And if you will, this is going to be the only place where I'm writing any code. So I'm going to say if readmit days is larger than 0 and readmit days is smaller or equal to 30, because that's essentially what I would like to predict. Then this is considered to be a readmission that could have been preventable, else no. And this is actually a fairly, so I'm going to add this as a new column. That is actually a pretty short string. So now I can see that I will have a simple field with a yes/no answer for all of my records. Now I'm going to use this in a decision tree model, which is a very straightforward model type where I can try and predict my new 30 days readmission flag. And I'm going to base that on all of the information except for encounter ID and patient name, which are unique across my data set, and also this little numeric input field on basis of which I based my target field. So this I'm going to then capture in a couple of browse steps so that I can see where things are going. And I'm going to publish my model back to my IRIS instance. So now the model is grinding through my entire data set, and shortly I'll be able to see some of the output of this algorithm. And at the same time, my decision tree will be pushed back into my IRIS instance so that I can use it as part of applications and business processes. So here I can see some basic rendering of the big decision tree that was created, and some basic information on the accuracy of this model. Okay, now let's take a look at how this works here. So I've prepared this application so that it will pick up the model as soon as it gets there. And here I can see that for every record, a risk score was calculated to identify the risk of sending this patient home or sending it to a particular other target area. And as you can see, for some of these patients, the outlook is not as colorful. So these are patients that I would probably want to keep a little longer and make sure that they are treated properly before we're just discharging them. So that was a brief introduction to how you can work these tools together and how a subject matter expert audience without much technical knowledge can start taking advantage of their data, regardless of which sources it comes from, but still make sure that the output of their labor, the output of their analytic workflow can be taken advantage of on the InterSystems IRIS data platform.